Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Harrisburg Rotary Club. It is great to see a full room with plenty of members and guests, and we've got plenty of things to do today, so I'm going to jump right in. And you might see here, as Wayne Smith, I get a chance to do things a little different. And we'll talk about that later, but welcome to the club, and we're going to follow the order on the table, which is a little bit different than we typically do. So we're going to have, I'm going to pause again. I'm going to do some introductions of a few people that we're going to call up to help us, and that's our other local area club leaders. And they're going to help us today with our special guest, Kathy, to do our four-way test and some of the different things that we do today. So first of all, we're going to call up in this order, John Morrow, president of the Bridgewater Club, to do the pledge, Cassie Mabray from the Rockingham Club to do the four-way test, John Meck from the Massanutten Club to do the invocation. So come on up first for the pledge, John. Thank you.
Thank you, Wayne. Would you all join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Good morning, or I guess that's what I'm used to saying. Good afternoon. Would you please join me in the four-way test of the things we think, say, or do? First, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? Fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned?
We could each bow our heads. It is good to recognize how different we are, our talents, our dreams, our backgrounds, our occupations. And it is good to know that when you created each of us, you broke the mold. No one is exactly like anyone else. Our thumbprints, our voices, they each tell us how unique we are. Yet we thank you that we can take these differences and mobilize them for the good of Rotary in our community. In our differences, we can think the same thoughts and move together toward a common goal. Bless us as we meet together today. Thank you for our individuality and also for our common bond. Amen.
Thank you all for helping me with that. And one of the traditions that we do in our club, and I love to hear Les lead songs. We're going to do a song. Les, would you please lead us in a Rotary song today? Bless America, land that I love, stand beside her and guide her to the light from above, from the mountains to the prairie, to the ocean, white with snow. On America, like home, sweet home. God bless America, like home, sweet home. Thank you, Les. You may be seated. We're going to do a few more introductions. What I would love to do, first of all, we're going to give Dan a break today. But those of you who brought a guest with you, first, stand up and introduce your guests, and then we'll have the visiting Rotarians from other clubs introduce yourself, which club you're from. So start with, if you have a guest today. Les. Great, welcome. Ken. Wonderful. Welcome. Any other guests? Before we have any visiting Rotarians that are here for the club, please introduce yourself. Welcome. So in a minute, we'll call Whit up to introduce our real special guest for today. But before I do that, just a couple of quick announcements and Family of Rotary. We have one more. I think he'll get introduced in a minute. Yep, thanks. So Family of Rotary, a couple of things that are never, sometimes Family of Rotary isn't always warm and happy things. Steve lost an older brother, funeral coming up this week. We'll remember you and your family in prayers. I guess a funeral coming up Thursday, I think you said. And John, the same, an older brother passed away suddenly, I guess, just over the weekend. Yep. So let's remember John and Steve in our prayers and thoughts as they deal with the sadness. On a brighter note, it came to my attention, Valerie Weaver, a member of this club, her daughter, Michaela, was named a top 40 under 40 surgeon worldwide. Women, female surgeon. That's right. So that's a great honor. So if you next time you see Valerie or send her a note, but that's really a great accomplishment. So with that said, I do have a couple of announcements, the usual thing, and Michael's done a job of reminding me, but marking your service hours. And we did over 2,000 hours last year. And that's our goal again, is to exceed that. And we're less than halfway where we want to be. So I know it's still a challenge in coming out of the pandemic still, but even if you're, your home church, your civic club, your communities, your little leagues, the things that you do to serve the community, we want to know about it. And we're excited that there are a lot of folks doing it. I also want to mention something that you saw in an email from us earlier. We have a social coming up October 6th from 5 to 7 at Mulligan's. So those of you that don't check your Rotary email, that's okay, but you'll get more of them. But just a chance to get together and fellowship. It was fun to see everybody, a lot of folks at Melrose Caverns, our last meeting. People seem to really enjoy a chance to do something different. So if you haven't been to Mulligan's, we're going to have 2 hours reserved. The pavilion is ours. The whole miniature golf course is ours. 4 bays and their new high technology golf center, and food and drinks, and bring grandkids and kids, and to bring prospective members. Should be a really fun event. So we're looking forward to just continuing to connect together this year. So with that said, I'm going to call up Whit Menifee, who is our area governor, to introduce our special guests for the day. And you can introduce both of the guests.
Thank you, Wayne Smith. I appreciate it. And that's my boo-boo, okay? I don't know where, I've got a Wayne Smith floating around somewhere in the back of my mind somewhere. When we made those event lists that popped up somehow, okay? Also, I'll tell you real quick before I introduce Kathy that, and she was not aware of this either, that from Russell Hampton, you know who Russell Hampton is? Who's Russell Hampton? That's where everything Rotary comes from, is Russell Hampton. Yeah, he better know that. But anyway, as I was looking for something else the other day, I found a new Rotary koozie for your drinks. And interestingly enough, they changed the name. It is now the 4-way beer test. Is it ice cold? Is there enough for all concerned? Will it build good times and much better relationships? Can it get any better than this? So it's not an official, but they got it in Russell Hampton. I thought it was funny. Anyway, it's my pleasure today to introduce to you all Kathy Kanter, who is our district governor this year. Also with Kathy is her bodyguard and husband, Byron Brill. And Byron is a past district governor and also a member of the Winchester Rotary Club. So it's nice to have you here with her. Kathy is a member of the Strasburg Club, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I've already messed up once today. She, since 2007, right? Okay. They live in Middletown, Virginia. She is a past president of the Strasburg Club in 2014 and 15. And she's also a graduate of RLI. She also, as I was looking up to make sure I had things right, she's also serves on every committee there is in District 7570. So she's quite a versatile person. And Sharon, I'll tell you a little thing, Sharon, my wife and I had a little bit of time to spend with Byron and Kathy 2 weeks ago up at Orkney Springs at the Spinners concert, and got to talk and get to know each other a little better. Anyway, without further ado, please give a Rotary welcome to our district governor, Kathy Kanter.
And I'm sure Andy will make sure it's coming the way it's supposed to come and all that good stuff. And you want me to stand still, and I'm going to try really hard. Okay, better? I know you'll keep me straight here. I really am excited to be here with you. This is the best part of this job, is going out and meeting new friends and reacquainting with old friends. And Byron and I have a lot of old friends in Rotary. I get to do some official remarks before I do unofficial remarks. We're in a period of adjustment. Our world, our country, our communities, and our Rotary. We need to adjust. And Rotary's trying to help us with that. And I'm going to just go over some of the tools they've given us. They gave us a new theme this year. Who knows the theme? You get to pick a prize. That's what those prizes are for. Pick a prize. Okay, so second question. Who had an opportunity to watch the film that was sent to each club? Did anybody watch the film? I know Andy did watch the film because Andy created the film. So Andy, come get a prize. No, you should get it. It was a great film. Please take time and go back and show it to your clubs. That has some of the information that I'm going to go over with you. It's what Rotary wants us to know. These are our goals from Rotary, from the president of Rotary, as we do this year and try and rebuild. The foundation goal, increase our impact. And of course, that starts with us. Foundation giving, some of us do it professionally in this room. Increase giving, increase our impact. But this is what we use. This is what comes back to us in our communities, in our clubs. We do foundation grants. We talked about some of those grants that you in Area 3 have so routinely done together. That's an amazing way to increase your impact. How about global grants? Any clubs ever done a global grant or been part of a global grant? You get to come get a prize. That again is foundation giving. It comes back to us. We get to use the money. We as a district also use this money. Many of our clubs apply for various grants to increase their giving toward hunger. Hunger's our initiative as a district again this year for the 4th year. Paula Alston just sent out an email saying that the meals that we packed at district conference this year just have gone to Haiti. Every club in this district is touched by hunger. Many of you have projects. Nick Morris is our representative that's keeping track of all this. Please send in. And the same goes. If you do it with your church, you do a packing event, or you have a blessing box, or you do Christmas boxes with any other organization, that counts. You're a Rotary member. That helps our Rotary numbers. We're all working on this initiative. So to have a way that it automatically gets turned in, or just send me an email that you did it, I'll make sure it gets turned in. They also asked us to expand our reach. And no, I didn't say every club has to have a new club, but that's what they want. They want us to consider new clubs because it may be a way to reach members that can't be here Monday at noon. So consider having a companion club, or consider another club that may meet at a different time or at a different place. If you have a nearby assisted living center or older community, that may be a place to consider a companion club. Enhanced participant engagement. That was our 3rd goal. And that's a little harder to explain, except they want everybody to have a better relationship with Rotary. They want us to take care of our members. Well, duh, family of Rotary, that's what that means. If somebody's not here, why aren't they here if they're normally here? Call them, find out. Take care of your members, have socials. It's okay to have fun. Now, it's better if you do a service project with all of those folks and then have fun. Because again, that's the main focus for most of us is the service. And the 4th goal was increase our ability to adapt. And that's the diversity, equity, inclusion piece, and whatever that looks like. And we talked about that a little bit before in our president's meeting. The one piece that you all didn't mention that really hit home for me was in my training this year to become governor. And when this was presented, one of the presenters was a fellow who had been deaf all of his life. And he said he'd been treated differently all of his life. And that was not what I would normally have put into that equation. But somebody who has a disability, is that a barrier for them being able to be part of the way your club operates? I know Byron's club is huge, and in the way the parking is, if you don't get there early, you're in the North 40. And for some of those members, if they can't get a close parking place, they just drive on away. So is that a barrier? Jennifer Jones says, removing barriers is the key to inclusion. And inclusion is the key to membership. So that being said, what do we think the biggest problem with Rotary? What's their biggest focus right now? I don't know who said it, but you get to come get a prize. Membership. We all need to think about membership. Every one of us. It's everyone's goal. The biggest thing I've heard is people just don't ask. They don't take the time to have the conversation and ask. Do you have a speaker after a couple times? And hey, ask them, do they want to join? We as a district are going to work even harder. We're going to ask Rotary and use their tools. There will be, and WIT is your membership advocate, as well as your area governor. There will be smaller area events with focus on just your group, but there also will be February the 11th a whole day on membership for president-elects, membership chairs, so anybody open. And when you say all day on membership, I know that sounds horrible. I had to go do it. We went to Richmond and we heard this presentation, and it was multiple presentations. It was interactive and it was really a good program. I know that seems hard to believe. All day, to keep Byron in a seat all day, not easy, but he did it. And he even admitted it was well done. So February the 11th, it's a Saturday at Natural Bridge. So it'll be easy to get to. It'll be about 10 to 3 or 4. It'll be worth your time. So please, please, please make that a priority. Again, the tools are there. We just have to do them. So now you've had my official, what I needed to say, because that's what I'm supposed to do. Now I get to tell you about the fun stuff. District conference. How many have been to district conference ever? Yay. Okay. I don't have enough prizes, but I'm really glad. We're going to change it up this year. And I am going to admit to you, not because I set out to change it up. We were slated to go back to the homestead. And again, looking at that in between, what's sort of in the center of our district. We went to Hotel Roanoke last year. Wonderful facility. I had a contract with the homestead from 2.5 years ago. And they called and canceled that contract about the 1st of June. So panic sort of set in. I'm late to the game to find a new site. But again, Byron Brill, the idea guy, he suggested we look at Salem Civic Center. Very different site. Normally, we all spend the night together and so on and so forth. There will be 8 hotels within 5 minutes of the Salem Civic Center. So we won't all get to stay in the same place, but it's going to be okay. $99 rooms, free parking, both hotel, 3,000 parking places at the Civic Center. So you can come and go. You can even do your RV. If you're an RVer, they have 90 sites, hookup sites. Again, very different. But the biggest piece of our district conference, and I'm going to call it a convention because we're not spending the night together in the same place, is service. We are going to have 4 different service projects that will take place during that weekend. The biggest will be, we are going to build 100 beds, real beds. These will be distributed throughout our district, partnering with a group called Sleep in Heavenly Peace. And if you know who Mike Rowe is, like the job guy, YouTube him and this project. We will build 100 beds and they'll be distributed that weekend. And that will include their bedding, the mattress, pillow, all that good stuff. Second thing we'll do is, again, pack meals. There will be a separate program that'll run concurrently with ours for the interactors. And that Saturday afternoon, we will have a meal packing event that will include them. The third project, we're going to have a sock hop, but it's going to be a little bit different kind of a sock hop. Yes, there will be a great beach music band, but we're going to match and bag socks for the homeless. So a little different variation, although we're going to be allowed to dance too. And then the fourth project, and this is a little different in that there'll be a way that you can do this starting probably in January and in the 2 months leading up to our conference, is a polio walk because you can. So we will have a walk and you'll raise funds or donate per mile, whatever. The details haven't been worked out. But that'll be the fourth project that will culminate during our conference. We expect our fee structure to be less. Our plan is to have earlier buffet dinners. So even if somebody is coming in for the day, and again, Salem Civic Center right off 81, an hour away for you guys. You can still stay and have fellowship 2 hours away, you think? No, it's only 2 hours from Strasbourg. 2 hours and 20 minutes. I can be there. Believe me, been there a bunch of times. All right. So again, we hope to make it easier. I'm going to also ask you, and in your clubs, the last 3 years has been really hard to integrate new members into Rotary. We have whole clubs that are still sorting out new jobs, new whatevers. Bring your new members to conference. It is how they will know Rotary. It'll make a difference. They'll stay in Rotary then, for sure. They'll get that bug, just like all of you. So it's going to be a service focused convention. Imagine the difference we can make with all of us in the same place, focused on all of those projects. Imagine the difference. Imagine a world that deserves our best, where we get up every day and know that we can make a difference. Imagine. Thank you. Anybody have any questions? Glad to. Always. I didn't. Okay, same date as we had from the beginning, which was March 2nd through the 5th. So it's a little bit earlier in March. So it's on the calendar. You get a weekly news blast. Anybody read those? All right, now you get to get a prize. Please, please, please start watching. There will be much information there. We'll send some through our district conference reps and through our presidents. But there'll be a lot of new moving parts. Okay, we have 77 clubs. We are a long, narrow district, and that does present problems. We go from Winchester, Virginia to Greenville, Tennessee, 435 miles up and down 81. Yeah. I can tell you where all the bathrooms are, where the best coffee is. It really is the best part, going to clubs, but yeah, 77. So anything else? Yes, sir. Wow. Well, Byron has been a member since 82. And I always just hung out. I just did things. And I really had no intention of really joining because I was already doing it. So I really learned. And then when Byron was district governor, I joined because the person who was going to be the president for Strasbourg Club was pastor of my church. And he was just the coolest guy. And I thought, he's going to have a great year. So I said, could you sponsor me, blah, blah, blah. And I started going and really officially doing. I laughed, though. I sort of learned Rotary from the top down because I'd already been doing everything. And then because of Byron's position, was able to really learn and bring back good stuff for my club. So then, yeah, then I just did everything else. So, but yeah. Yes, sir. There have been some invitations put out there. We're still waiting to hear. I do know that our international rep is going to be a man that Byron and I have known for 20 years from Jamaica, Harish Randami. And Harish is a past district governor. Harish also was the If you saw any of the Hamburg International meeting, he was the master of ceremonies in Hamburg. And he's our special friend. He and I have worked on many international projects in Jamaica. Byron and I do a dental mission in Negril, Jamaica. I was lucky enough to do a global grant in Jamaica and led a eye and dental team. So all of those relationships over the last, and Chris Runyon actually was the same class as Harish when he was district governor, and Chris Runyon's installation was in Jamaica with Harish. So again, a good relationship. Yes, sir. They're looking and they know what happened and how it happened. The person who was initially infected was not vaccinated, was in a group, a living area that typically is not vaccinated. One issue. The second issue, how it came to here, he had not traveled. It came via a person who had been vaccinated with a live vaccine, which the US no longer uses. But that little instance can happen. That's one of the reasons why the US doesn't use that vaccine anymore. They are continuing to evaluate now at a much higher rate, looking at the sewage so that they know and can better detect where it's going to pop up next. And obviously watch that. But yeah, they're on it. And we're still doing NIDs and continuing. There are new polio only in the same two countries, Afghanistan and Pakistan. We're still working on it. We still have to keep going. But thanks. Any other questions? Well, thank you. Again, this has been lovely. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. That's exciting about the Rotary convention this year. That's going to be fun, I think. We appreciate you all coming down from Strasbourg. I know we're halfway between your trip. They have another presentation to do tonight in Lynchburg. So safe travels. Thank you all for coming. Please continue to support Rotary. Thank you.